Okay, this morning I'm going to be working on the shower. Um, Let me turn this around so you can see what I'm talking about. Anyways, all right, let me turn it around. All right, first off, um, we've gone through here and cleaned all the hard water stains that accumulated on this over the last couple of years. And we stayed after it, but I mean, you can tell that, but it you just have to. I mean, like with the stove, if you don't, your stuff just gets really nasty. But we don't like any kind of pink mold or anything else showing up on the edges of anything. You just you get in the shower to be clean, and you have to clean your shower because, well, that's where all your dirt goes and all your grime. And if you just don't do it, well, you wind up with some nasty looking stuff to try to clean up with, and that just doesn't make sense. But today, if you can see the hard water stains, I'm going to be getting rid of those today and get this to go back to being like it was more brand new. I've cleaned it a couple of times in the past. You can't just do it every time you take a shower, but once in a while you just have to. And you can tell that we have because it's not really nasty looking at all. Like I say, I'm getting in here to do this today. So the other thing is where the hard water collects on the glass. It's really hard to show. And there's basically a line. There we go. And it runs all the way down to the bottom. And it's hard water and soap scum, but you can always tell it's something else that I work on all the time. But today I'm going to try to get it clean for the final inspection. And we try to do everything as no harm. Even my towel rack is something that hooks up over the deal and doesn't leave any marks or holes or anything like that. Just showing that real quick. Um, some of the things that we use to keep the place clean. Anyways, all right, let's take a look at the shower, how big it is. One of the things I'm going to miss about this place is the shower. Um, as you can see by me standing out here, I'm a big person, man. So, but I'll show you here in just a minute. Oh, the way you have to do this to keep the inside of this clean, you have to remove some of this. And it's made to do that. You just, like everything else, you have to be careful with it. You see, I'm removing the outside edge, the seal. And if you don't put it back exactly like it is, it'll leak. So pay attention to how you're peeling it off. But that's the only way you're going to get back in there to that portion of that glass to clean that. It's just a plastic strip and seal, and it attaches right back onto the glass. Like I said, you just have to be careful when you do it, and you'll make it so that you can get in your hand in between. I'll show you in just a second. And you can get cleaners, and in the case of hard water, solvents to get that off of there. You've got inside seal and an outside seal. I would separate them to keep them separate, or so you put them back exactly how you took them off. So that's what I'm doing. My inside one is over by the door. The outside one's over here by my towel rack. And now, as you see, you can get back in here in between the glass and clean all that hard water off of there. You can go on both sides. Anyways, back in a minute and I'll show you how I do all that. Okay, so let's go over some of this. With that lime, you can't dilute anything. You just need to put it straight on there as best you can. I usually use a white vinegar, and if that doesn't work, this will. And it's called Limex. It's really inexpensive, but if you can see that, what it gets rid of. Yep, calcium deposits, and lime. So the calcium and lime deposits is what we're basically dealing with hard water. And this product, even though it's meant just for your toilet bowl, it still takes all that off. And since a toilet is basically ceramic, but you want to use, hand protection, because if you read on the ingredients as to what all's in it, you'll see where it says hydrochloric acid. It's a diluted form of it, but it really does work. But I always like to use white vinegar and stuff on the glass because it'll dry without leaving streaks if you get done right. And a little bit of dish soap, just a little. Like I say, I don't add water to it because you can't, and not if you're going to try to get that streak of lime and stuff off of the glass. Anyways, that's usually what I do. I just bought this, so pour it off in there. Dish soap will streak, so you'll have to go back over it. Just a few pumps. Mixing around in there. I'm doing the sink and the faucets here a little bit later. I did do the base over on this right through here. It collects calcium and stuff on it from the water running on there from you doing dishes or cooking and stuff like that. It collects over time. We didn't know how to get rid of it for a while until I found this stuff, and it works really good. These are stone cabinets, so it's not going to hurt them. It doesn't hurt them. I tested it on a very small place and then watched it do its thing, went through there with a piece of Scotch-Brite, and it took it right off. I mean, it looked perfect after that. All I had to do is dry it and polished right back up to the way it was when it was put in here brand new. Again, something they put in just before I moved in. This is all brand new. It's only been in here for a couple of years now. The other thing I'm using is this. It's a handle deal. Scotch-Brite. It is a little abrasive, but it's not going to hurt your glass. You won't scar it up or anything like that. So anyways, that's another thing I'm going to be using. Most likely just a pad because I can't get the whole thing in there in between the glass. And I'm not picking that glass up off of that rail and putting it aside to clean it. I'm not going to do that. I cleaned up under the bottom seal as much as I could. I'll have to show you how to do that because you can get up in there and clean all the gunk out of there as well. But anyways, let's go back in there and I'll go through some of it. All right, here we go. All right, like anything else you clean, you're gonna have to use a little bit of elbow grease. But since this is also a solvent, we're going to put some down on it and get it started. And as you see, the soap kind of holds that vinegar in place. So it'll sit there and do its magic. Call it that. It's already working. This is really the only way to get up in here and get this off. And now you know why I didn't get dressed in my normal clothes and hat. It's just kind of a messy job. And anyways, I'm going to let that set for a minute, and I'll let you see what the end product is. Oh, then that bar that sits on the outside, we had a curtain up there that covers over the whole glass, so you can have your privacy when you take a shower. It's really a nice thing, but we've made sure that all that's cleaned up and it's done. You can see by looking at it, it's a really nice setup, and that is one of the things I'm going to miss about the place, like I said earlier. Anyways, onward. We got to let it soak for a minute. Okay, so you can see where I've got the soap all up in there again. That holds that vinegar in place so that it'll do its job. You can already see through there, but some of it's just because it's wet, it looks like it's clean. So I'm gonna have to dry it to make sure that it has gotten all that hard water out of there, hard water stain. But anyways, that's what it looks like when you're working on it. Back in a minute. Okay, let's see how we did. How it's come along. Paper towel. Get some of this up. Let's see how much more scrubbing I gotta do. Oh yeah, I got some more scrubbing to do. But I will show you where this is actually working. All this up here is cleaned up now. You just have to keep working at it as it goes down. But let's take a look at it. See how it looks. Okay. I've wiped the soap and vinegar off of there. As you can see, it's better, but I still got to do some work on it yet. It's starting to come loose. And as you go up, you see where it's disappearing. As you get starting to go up, and just disappears altogether. It's clean. It's got picture see-through glass, which is what you want. And I still got a little ways to go yet. There's not much you can do about that except for keep scrubbing at it. Anyways, I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go for another round or two of this and I'll get it all off. Okay, hopefully my video won't cut out on me like it did a minute ago. I was cleaning up the shower head and it's coming along pretty good. Saw how much it had gunk on it before. All that is pretty well gone. I'll show you that here in a second. So my video won't cut out on me again. I'll show you how this is cleaning up. Again, it's made out of plastic. It cut that part out where I told you it's made out of plastic, so you want to be careful with it. And I'm just trying to get all the calcium and lime deposit off of it, because it is a really nice looking piece, and I no reason to leave it looking bad. I clean it once in a while. You know, you can't do this every time you take a shower. That'd be ridiculous. But I do get after it. It's just something you got to do, otherwise it just looks nasty. Anyways, onward. Okay, I'll show you that, more of that in just a second. Okay, you saw how that looked when I first came in here. As you can see, I pretty well got all that lime and stuff off of it. Pretty much back to its original sheen. I got to do a little more work on the base of it. Most of that's actually from soap, and I got most of this off. You have to do a little more. That's where the water drips out of it. When you've got it hanging up, you turn the shower off, it actually drips a little bit more out of it yet. It's not really anything you can do about it except come in and clean it once in a while. But it's coming off pretty easily with the vinegar solution. Just got to give it time to do its work, and it'll come clean. This, let's say, y'all, you saw how it looked earlier. It was completely covered in calcium deposit, and it's no longer the case. Anyways, I'll show more on that when I get it cleaned up a little more. You got one of these little jobbers like this straw stick thing you can get at Walmart for cheap. With this, you can pull this off of here, but you can only go so, it'll only pull down like halfway. Where with this, you get a little brush like this, and you can go up underneath here and clean all that gunk out of there. Let's see, if you don't, it'll turn pink on you, and it's just nasty after a while. Anyways, that's why the seal's on each side. You poke through the other side. If that seal's not on there, it will leak. So you got to make sure all your seals are back in place whenever you put it back together. But anyways, there's how that works. Okay, on to the next part of this project. Or back to this one. Said I still had some scrubbing to do. That's actually part of that other piece of glass. Let's say it's a lot better, but I still got to get this other part, and it's getting there. All right, back in a minute. Just so you don't forget, you got to clean these guys up too. Just a little hot water and some soap. Just so you don't want it to not work right. So yeah. Doesn't take much to get this clean. Hit with some Scotch-Brite. Again, be careful with them. You don't want to break them, bend them. They won't work right, so you got to be careful. Just lightly go over it and you'll be fine. Get both sides of it. Okay. Rinse it off. And you definitely see the difference in it. Of course, as you've probably ascertained, I'm going to have to clean up the floor. Like I said, it's a messy job. Thankfully, this is a tile floor. I've already cleaned the grout up on it, but all I've really got to do is get the water up off of it. Okay, there's that one. What do they say? Wash, rinse, and repeat for the other one. Okay. One of the things about cleaning something is you just can't stop if you want to get it done. But anyways, I wanted to show how this came out. All the calcium and all the soap scum is no longer, well, there may be a little here and there, but you know what? I don't think a cleaning crew is going to get it any cleaner, but they might. I mean, my secret is, like I showed you, the vinegar and soap and Scotch-Brite, but for the most part, this strip is clean. When I get done, that's the way the glass is going to be as well. I'll show you all that when it comes to it. I still got one more strip to go. Oh, just so you can see the difference. This is the one that I haven't done yet. Okay. Let's see. Let's get around here. You can see it. Yeah, see all the grime on it. And again, I've actually stayed up with these, so I'd pull them off and clean them. But you can see where I need to hit it. There you go. So that's what that other one looked like when I started on it, only it was worse, believe it or not. But anyways, they'll both be like that, and the glass will be as well. I'll show you that when I get done with it. All right. I'm going to talk to you about the windows. Um, they're really nice. I mean, they're big. I mean, like I say, I'm a big person, and these are not not small. Matter of fact, I kind of enjoyed being able to look out them. In the morning, I'll open up the blind so I can see. But anyways, cleaning them. There is a screen. It's a sunscreen that's bolted in on the outside. I cannot remove it. I cannot clean the outside of these windows. However, we did clean the inside of them. We have washed it. There's pictures of me doing it. cleaning the inside of the windows and the seals. So those are actually cleaned. The other thing is, um, get this where you can see it. I didn't realize this the other day, but these were not put together. So when you first pulled open the blind, the center of it sagged. I mean, it just from the weight. These are like solar blinds or whatever. They're thick. They're nice, but they're heavy. So you have to have this setup put together. Anyways, I fixed it, and their Venetian blinds now work like they're supposed to. But let me turn this around so you can see what I'm talking about not being able to get to the outside. And well, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that because of the big screens on there, which are also a blessing because the sun shines straight into this unit. Without those solar screens on there, it'd be a hot son of a gun here. Okay, I'm do my best to get to where you can see that we've cleaned that glass. It's clean. I cleaned the window seals. These are all cleaned, top and bottom. There's a little bit of um, mold issue with the where the glass sets up inside there. I'm not sure how to do anything with that. I did try. I got all the molding done. It's cleaned up. It's kind of hard to see with the light shining in. Now you see what I'm talking about with the solar screens are a blessing. Um, anyways, we did get all of it. I mean, I went through and cleaned up all of it. And these cross deals are inside, in between the glass panels. This is a thermal panel setup. So that's actually on the inside of the glass. But can you see some of the? There we go. You can see some of the on the glass. That's on the outside, and I can't get to it. There's no way I can get to it to clean it. And I mean, it's not real noticeable, but it's still there. Anyways, there's that. Okay, I did find where you can see where that grime is that I was talking about. It's on the other side of this. Let me find my center point. There we go. If I can get it at an angle. See, there you go. See all that? That's on the outside.